Hey friends, I am so excited to teach you how to draw winter cardinals in Sketch.io today. Remember, when you are getting started in Sketch.io, you want to first look at a photograph or an image of something that you want to create. This way it'll help us remember all of the details we need to add. So when I'm drawing a cardinal today, I need to remember that it has an orange beak, it has black, like a mask around its face. It's bright red, but it has little black lines and details on its wing and on its tail, like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First, we need to fill the background, so let's use vector fill and get started. Now you can choose any color that you want to, or you can try linear or radial. Remember, I think I might actually go for a radial today and shoot for like a really like vibrant blue. That's nice. I like that. All right. Once you hit the check mark at the top, it is locked in place, and I can get started. I am going to add branches. I want to add branches. I want to add snowflakes falling down, and I want to add a little bit of snow on my branches. Now, if you get excited and you're like, oh, I know in clip art, there are some birds, right? Bird. Okay. But none of these are really exciting. There is a cardinal in here, which is fine, but it's not going to improve your drawing skills if you just grab some clip art. Now, if you wanted to try looking for a branch, a tree branch, I think there might be some really cute ones in here that you can try, like that one, right? And then you can make these really big. That's fine. It's cool. This would be kind of nice for how do I flip that? There we go. Just click and drag it to the other side. And then you know what? I think I'm going to drag this one. So it's like that. Okay. Well, you know what? I think I might use these branches. Nice. This is looking very nice. I like it a lot. Maybe we'll just make these wispy. All right. Well, you know what? You know what else? While I'm in here, while I'm in my drawing tool, I'm going to jump into my paintbrush and grab some white. Make that line width way smaller. Turn the blur off. Well, do a little, like a two pixel blur. Make that even smaller. And then I'm going to come through and add just a little bit of snow. Just some snow. And you want to remember that if snow was actually falling on these branches, right? The snow's actually falling down on your branches. It would stick to the top of the branch. It's not going to snow from under the branch. I mean, if it's a really heavy snowstorm, maybe the whole branch would be frozen, right? But to do that, I would have to turn my opacity way down. And you know what? I just want this to be like really pretty, like almost something that you would see on a card, right? I'll make a little bit of snow, just a little bit that got stuck. Ooh, like that. Oh, let's cover this up. That's cool. Yeah, there we go. Not too much snow. You don't want to cover the whole thing in snow. It's a text message. You don't want to cover the whole thing in snow. Okay. Maybe you just want to add like a couple of, like maybe even a little bit of snow fell down, made this branch really heavy. Just a little bit. Okay. Just a little bit. If you want to come through and add some snowflakes falling down, that's your choice. I'm going to wait until after I draw my cardinal. So I'm going to select all of these details that I've already added and group them. Nope. Try that again, Anderson. Options, group, and lock. So now that they're grouped, when I come into my layers tab on the right-hand side, I have this group right here. Okay, and inside I know I have all of my background pieces. So now I can get started drawing my awesome cardinal. I want a semicircle. Maybe I'll start with an ellipse. I like using the shapes tool as much as I can before I start adding all of my details, because then I don't have to try to make sure it's perfect. Does that have a black outline? Sure does. Sure does. Let's turn outline off. Click that teardrop shape right there. Okay, it's kind of a nice size for my cardinal body, right? I'm getting a little cardinal body on here. Body, yada, 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 yada. All right, let's grab this, turn it. Yeah, that's a good size body. You can make it a little smaller so he's not super fat. And then you know what? Depending on how far away from the branch, like look at the curve of his body. Okay, so the curve of his body actually goes over the top of this branch. And my oval is pretty much this part of the body. So I actually think I'm going to draw him facing the other way, like going more like this way. Okay. If you don't want the body to lay on top of the branch, that's your choice. You can give it some distance so you can draw like nice long gray legs. Let's open this in a new tab. That's a 2-finger click, right? Look at this beautiful photograph. Okay, so he's got this nice oval body. Now his head isn't really an oval because it kind of extends down, but I'm still going to use the oval first, and just get as much of these details done with shapes as I can. Oh, I think that looks nice. What do you think? That you think that looks nice? I think so. All right, so let's take a look at this face. So his mask is kind of like, it almost looks like it would start a square and then it comes down with a little triangle on the bottom. So let's try doing that. So it comes out like a square and then it has a little triangle on the bottom. And you see how I just kind of drew over that blue sky for my triangle, and I connected because his head's not actually an oval. It extends down. He has like this nice long like neck. And then so I had that square first. Let's go ahead and color that in. It's kind of small. Zoom. Zooma, zooma, zooma. When I was a kid, there was a show on PBS and it was like, I think it was just called Zoom, but it was like a kids craft show. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it. Even if I didn't have the materials to always make the cool things at home. Yeah, I want to come back up here like that. I liked watching other kids make crafts. They could make really cool engineering and STEAM like crafts. Are there any red spaces? It's hard for me to tell. Okay, so that looks pretty good. All right, so we have that black part. Then, oh, look at that. It has a bright red mohawk coming off the back of his head. And then look, his head kind of curves, right? Very opposite of the beak. There's a curve that comes down. Oh, I have that. So I just need to really smooth this out. So here's a really awesome trick. I know that we picked off of this awesome palette right down here, and I know which color red that I used, but let's say you couldn't figure out what color you had. Right here, there's that eyedropper tool. Remember, we talked about that in class. So if you click the eyedropper tool and then select whatever color you want, it automatically fills it with that color. So you could go through and try to see your shading or anything else that you've been working on, and it'll pop up for you. Okay, so now let's do that mohawk. I can't remember. It comes off the the very top line comes off the top of its head. It comes straight out. And then there's like a couple of more pieces that come down. So I really want to keep that curved back. And I want to stop right at the end of that square where the eye is. Okay. So let me give you a little pointer on what I did here. And it looks better. I think it looks way better. But I actually switched from the pencil tool to the pen tool. And I left that pixel size way down to 4 and just kind of drew some like zigzags real quick because feathers aren't always perfect, right? And then I brought it back up to a 9 or a 10. And then I drew this front piece. Okay, so now I have that sweet mohawk. While I have my pen tool selected, I'm going to switch back to that dark black. And then just go ahead and make, you know what, actually, let's use we're thinking. I want to use my circle tool. Switch that to black and use a circle because I don't want to. Yeah, that's great. That's great. I'm just going to move that really close down here. Cute. Adorbs. It looks great already, you guys. All right, switching back to my pen tool. I'm going to switch to that dark orange that I was like, I don't like it. I'll switch to that so I can add those details in the beak. Like, look at that beak. It's awesome. It's not really a pure black line that goes all the way down to the front. And look at the front. It has like a little highlight. Oh, like my cheekbones. There's like a little highlight from where the light is bouncing off the top. So we're going to add a little bit of a lighter orange line right on top. Once I add this kind of like, it almost looks like a sad face. This poor cardinal. Okay, so I'm going to start with that dark orange. Ooh, that pixel size is too big. Let's bring it down. I want to bring it down to like a 4 again. And then just like a little sad guy. That's cute. I like it. It's adorable. All right, so now it's time to pick that lighter color. So I'm going to choose maybe like a brighter orange like this one. And I want to turn my opacity down to probably 30%. Now, you could choose to do this any way you want. And I'm going to do it on the bottom of his little face too. So he has a little highlight. And you know what? While it's set to 30%, let's get a little white highlight and just add a little highlight on his eyeball. Look at that little bright white highlight right there on his eyeball. Let's do it. Boink. 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 Yeah. I just did 3 dots in the same spot. Doink, doink, doink. Right? It's cute. Oh, it already looks like a bird. I love it. Okay, so we have pretty much the shape of the body and we have the head all finished. If you wanted to go back in and use like a lighter red or a darker red and add some more feathers, that would be really cool. But I want to kind of get through the whole shape of the body first before I start adding details. So his wing, right? His wing does not all go all the way down here. This is part of his tail. His wing starts after that little hump, right? For the back of his head. And then there's his wing, and then it ends right here. So it's kind of shaped like there's an oval here, and then what do you think? Like a triangle, okay? So I'm going to use a slightly darker red. So you're right. I should use my tools, you guys. This is the point of using the internet, right? So I'm going to switch to the ellipse. And hit that darkest red that I can. Now I'm just going to click and drag the little white circle right here, just down just a bit. I want to drop it to, it'll say 910101. Okay, just a little bit. So it's just slightly darker. See how that's just slightly darker, right? Can you tell? It's barely darker, you guys. It's barely darker. All right, so I'm going to move it and you can reshape it. And I want to put the little wing, right? So it starts right up under that his neck fat. I don't think that's the official term, but I'm going to use it. I'm going to call it the neck fat. And you know what? How big is it? Oh, it's pretty big. It kind of comes down pretty far on the circle there. So let's just drag it down just a bit. And you know what? I'll make it just a little bit better. Oh, that's cute. Don't you guys think that's cute? I do. All right. Now I need to draw the tip of the wing is like a rounded triangle. So I'm going to use the triangle tool because I'm using my resources. And see how we're still inside the shapes tool, so I don't have to pick that color. But remember, if I did want to pick that color, I could just grab that eyedropper tool and I'll pick it up for me. I can draw that triangle. It really doesn't matter how big you start it off because you can resize and reshape it like that. And then grab these little side tools. That looks about right. And you know what? I'm not going to round that tip. I'm not. I'm not going to do it. This is for an awesome quick project that we're doing, so I'm not going to worry about it. Now it's time to make this long skinny tail. And if you notice the bottom of the tail is kind of flat, like almost like a rectangle kind of. I would say if I cut it right here, I could use a long skinny rectangle to do the tail, but I don't want it to be the same color as our wing. And look, there's another piece of the wing that comes back here. I'm going to skip that part though. If you want to add that, that would be really cool. I'm going to do the tail and I'm going to use a long skinny rectangle. Skip this part. So let's make it long and skinny. Oh my goodness. It's adorable. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It already looks like a tail. And it was longer, like a lot longer than the wing. Yeah. So let's skinny it out. Skinny it out and just make it a lot longer than wing. Perfect. Now remember my selection tool, the mouse. So I just drew my tail over top of the wing. That's goofy. Nobody wants to see that. So we're going to grab the options and we're going to click send to back. So this is going to put it behind the branches and the wing and everything else. It's going to put it on the back. So I also want to click on my wing. No, you know what? Yeah, I do. I'm going to put the wing behind the branch as well. So I don't want to send it to the back because then it would go under the body. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to click. You know what? I'm going to leave it for now. I'm going to leave it because if I click send backwards, it's going to send it behind the body before it sends it behind the branch. So I would have to go in here, unlock this, and then click on the branch and bring it forward. You want to bring the branch forward. If that's what you want to do, I'm going to leave it just like this. This is already cute. I mean, like, look, let's look at it from far away. It's adorable, you guys. So now it's time to add some details like my feet. So I'm going to keep the pen tool, switch this back to 100%, switch it to like a darker gray. And you know what? I'm going to bring up my line width to a 10 so I have like nice fat feet. And I really don't like how it goes backwards. It does this weird thing where it's small when you first touch it and then it gets fatter. I wonder if I can switch that around. Probably not. Probably not, Miss Anderson. So let's undo those toes. There we go. All right, so now that I know it's smaller, I'm going to start at the bottom and pull it in. Start out here for a toe. Start out here for a toe. 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 I made his feet kind of like Y's, and they actually have 3 toes, but that middle toe is long, right? It's long, and then they have a 4th little talon that's holding onto the back of the branch. So I don't have to draw that because it's behind the branch. So I'm just gonna draw a little 3rd toe. See how it got fatter? I don't like that. I want it to be fatter at the base. Okay, cute. It's adorable. Now I'm going to add some details and I'll be right back. Magic. That was fast, right? Did I do anything? Does it look different? Can you tell? Can you tell? Okay, so really all that I did, all that I added so far is that I switched to the pen tool, dropped my opacity to 10% and selected a dark gray color. And then I went through and added some details into the wings and the tail, and I even added some on the body. To get that really nice thick look, I brought the line width up to 10% first, and then I dropped it down to 4% to add even smaller details inside of the wings. So I could, I know, you're like, whoop, there you go. So you can see literally just zigzags. Super fast. Try not to draw in the sky. All right, so now that I have your attention, we're going to zoom out. I also used the text box tool. I used a Pacifico font, a white fill color, and a dark blue radial outline, and wrote Happy Holidays. It's pretty cute. And I just grabbed it and turned it at an angle, right, with the little selection tool and this little curved line. Just turned it a little bit. So now I want to add some snow. So I'm going to go into my drawing tool, click on the stamp option, and inside the stamp option, I want to find something that's like a circle or that looks like snow. I mean, ooh, these are cute. Let's use stars instead. That's a great idea. And I'll just pick this. I'm going to turn this to white. Turn my scale way down so they're extra tiny, and I want them to be spaced pretty far apart, and I want the rotation turned all the way up. All right, now I'm just going to click and drag all the way across, and try not to put any snow falling on my adorable cardinal. Okay? Click and drag. See how it just automatically sets the spacing now that I changed my options. If you want to go back into the video and pause it on my options so that yours are set something similar, I think that's great. It's really cute. Oh, and the stars literally look like snowflakes, you guys. It is so cute. And I got one on the tail, but that's fine. Just, you know what? Just add a couple more for good measure. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I can't wait to see what you create. Remember, no matter what kind of winter bird you choose to draw, maybe you want to draw a snowy owl or something. Remember, when you're looking at a photograph, it's a lot easier to figure out what shapes you need. Use that shapes tool. See you next time.